Unity. All right. 2021 is here, y'all. How appropriate. Everybody's expecting great things now, right? I'm expecting great things. I'm expecting great things. I'm expecting great things. Great things. Sing it with me, yeah. I'm
Expecting great things.
Oh,
I'm expecting great things.
Oh, expecting great things.
I'm expecting great things.
Oh, great things. In my life, you do great things.
You do great things.
In my home, you do great things.
You do great things.
All around, doing great things.
You do great things.
Eyes haven't seen. I choose to believe in great things.
I'm expecting great things.
Great things, yeah.
I'm expecting great things.
Something good, something great, something beautiful.
I'm expecting great
Oh, yeah, expecting great things. In my life,
I'm expecting great things.
oh,
I'm expecting great things.
I'm expecting great things. Yeah.
I'm expecting great things.
Oh, great things. Yeah. In my life, you do great things.
You do great things.
In my home, oh, you're always doing great things.
You do great things.
All around, can't you see I'm doing great things? Yeah.
Great things.
My eyes haven't seen, but I choose to believe it. I can't see it yet, but I know it's coming. Yeah, yeah. See, my eyes can't see, but I choose to believe it. My eyes haven't seen, but I choose to believe. Great things, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. I know great things are going. I know good things are coming to me. Expecting great things, great things. Everybody sing it, yeah. 2021 is here, y'all. Come on, great things. I know I'm gonna experience great things, yeah. Oh, great things.
I'm expecting great
You
things.
gotta expect great things.
I'm expecting great things.
Believe that it can happen.
I'm expecting great things.
Oh,
Great things. Amen.
Ah, what a perfect song for the start of a new year. And this is a new song that we're doing today for here. Not a new song, but for here. Whew. God is awesome, yeah. He can move. My God is awesome. He can move mountains. You ready? I'm gonna get it right. My God is awesome. He can move mountains.
Keep me from the
Valley. Oh, my God is awesome. Got it now.
Heals me
Heals me
when
when
I'm
I'm
broken.
broken.
Strength
when I am weak.
Praise His holy name.
Let's do it again, y'all. My God is awesome. He can move mountains. Keep me in the valley. Hide me from the rain. Oh, my God is awesome. Heals me when I'm broken. Strength where I am weak. Praise His holy name. My God is awesome. My God is awesome. Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, God is awesome.
Awesome.
My God is awesome. Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, my God is awesome.
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 Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
My God, your God is awesome.
My God is awesome. She can move the mountains.
Keep me in the valley. Protects me from the rain. Oh, my God is awesome.
Heals me when I'm broken. Strength where I've been weak. Praise the holy name.
God is awesome. Yeah.
God is awesome.
Oh, God is awesome.
Awesome.
God is awesome.
Awesome.
My God is awesome. Yeah. Oh, don't you know God is awesome? Oh, God is awesome. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Awesome.
God is awesome. Oh, and He's mighty. He's mighty. He's mighty. He's mighty. He's mighty. Oh, He's awesome. Oh, He's awesome. Oh, she's holy. She's holy. She's holy. She's holy. She's holy. She's holy and awesome. Oh, and He's great.
He's great.
He's great. He's great. He's great. I know He's awesome. Oh, He's awesome. And I know Him to be a provider. Provider, my God, provider. Oh, yeah, yeah. She's my protector. Every day. She's protecting me. Oh, she's awesome. Oh, my God is awesome. Yeah.
God is awesome. She can move the mountains. Keep me in the valley. Hide me from the rain. My God is awesome. Heals me when I'm broken. Strength where I've been weak. Praise her holy name. Amen. So it is.
Good morning. I'm Reverend Jean Marie Eck, and some of you may not know that I am the Director of Adult Education here at Unity of Houston. What is your vision for 2021? We are offering a wonderful slate of courses to support you in assessing your vision for your life and applying spiritual principles into every aspect to bring forth the highest good that is already yours in God. The first class that we're offering you starts January 9th, and it is a new class with Reverend Michael Gott and Maggie Cole, Infinite Possibilities, the Power of Affirmative Prayer. In this class, you'll be studying the 5 steps of spiritual mind treatment to apply affirmative prayer into every aspect of your life. The next class begins on January 14th. It's Forgiveness Sanctuary with Reverend Sheila Gautreaux. Reverend Sheila Gautreaux is a master teacher and coach of Colin Tipping's radical forgiveness work. And so you can join us now in daytime or evening classes, second and fourth Thursdays. Join us anytime. This is an open class, and we know we're all working on forgiveness work in our lives. This is a great class to jump into and do that deeper healing work. And the piece de resistance, our first winter spiritual education and enrichment week. We have 8 classes to offer you from all 6 of our Unity of Houston staff ministers, as well as 2 well-esteemed guest faculty, Reverend Paul Tenalia and Reverend Jill Andrews. The theme of the week is spiritual answers to human questions. We all have questions about what's going on in the world and in our lives, and there is a spiritual solution to every problem. There are 8 classes to choose from, day and evening. We have an early bird price to incentivize you to sign up before January 11th, and you can take up to 4 classes over that week period. We do hope that you will join us, and the final class of January begins Sunday, January 31st, a 10-week journey of prosperity called Absolute Abundance Metamorphosis. I have loved teaching this class. I will be offering this class to you Sundays on Zoom, and we will be affirming and experiencing prosperity in our health, our careers, our relationships, and as well as our finances. We hope that you will find 1, 2, or all of these classes will bless you in the month of January. Sign up today at unityhouston.org.
We are finished with 2020. I know many of us are happy to see that year be complete. So, you can tell from the announcements, we have so many things starting up. January seems to be a time when we like to start new things, and particularly when it comes to self-care and self-improvement. And in addition to those incredible classes Jean Marie just outlined, there's another opportunity for your personal enrichment and growth. Our beloved Mary Morrissey is offering her Dream Builder Live Weekend Seminar. It's going to be online January 29th through the 31st. And because of her friendship, long friendship with this community, she's offering a discount for $97 for the whole weekend for anyone here. And then there's also an added incentive that over 40% of that will come right back here to your beloved Unity of Houston. So please consider that as a gift you might give yourself for your own growth and becoming, is the Dream Builder Live weekend seminar, January 29th through the 31st. So that's another way you can invest in your own growth and serve your own becoming. And we also offer opportunities where you can serve others. We always have lots of service opportunities, and this Wednesday we are continuing to feed the hungry in our neighborhood, and we need volunteers. Even though we have been in this mostly shutdown mode, we have found ways that we can safely deliver and hand out food to those in need in our neighborhood. And if you're called to do that most biblical, most holy of actions, which is feeding the hungry, you're welcome to do that with us this Wednesday. You can sign up on our website at the Unity in the Community webpage right there on unityhouston.org. So thank you for that. I want to take a moment to welcome anyone who is here for the first time, or if you're new to us. If you haven't yet done so, we invite you to fill out the connection card. The link is right there in the comment section on Facebook. It's right on the homepage, unityhouston.org. Just let us know who you are, how you found out about us, and whether or not you'd like to be on our weekly email list. It's the best way to find out about all the programs and events we have. We'd also like to invite you to check in with how many people you have watching on your screens and where you are. It's really been great in this crazy time of COVID to see how our community has spread across the land and to see how many people are now connecting all the way across, even beyond the United States of America. So thank you for that. Wherever you are in your spiritual path, you are most welcome at Unity of Houston. Now it's time to get through all that business, and let's move into some spiritual practice together. As we move into our meditation, Ken is going to sing the most beautiful song, Spirit I Am. And I invite you just to use this to allow you to move into the very center of your heart, the center of your being.
Spirit am I, free of all limits, safe and healed and whole. Spirit am I, free to forgive and free to love the world. Spirit am I, Spirit am I, free of all limits, safe and healed and whole. Spirit am I, free to forgive and free to love the world. Spirit am I, Spirit am I, Spirit am
So I invite you now to move within. You might want to adjust the way you're seated so that you can feel a strong spine, a soft belly, gentle, focused awareness. Begin by placing all of the attention upon the breath as it leaves and enters your body. Become aware of the sensations. We become aware of any place of tension in the body and choose to relax those muscles. You might move the shoulders, the head, the arms, breathing deeply. Meditation is a practice of the presence and a practice in the present. So a simple practice this morning is on the in-breath, think the words, I am here. As we relax into the out-breath, think, I am home. I am here. Home. Allow the words that I speak in the first person to be not only for me, but for you. I am here. I am home. I return my awareness to the place of the eternal within my own being. I am more than space and time and form. I am part of the infinite expression of the eternal living God. The light of God shines in me. The life of God lives in me. The love of God moves through me. I rest in the peace of God. I rise in the power of God. So all of the places where I have allowed my identity to be hooked, to be co-opted, error thoughts of lack, limitation, thoughts of scarcity, thoughts of separation, I reclaim who and what I am now. Spirit am I. I am here. I am home. And in this time of reconnection to this deepest of truth, I allow my mind to be refreshed and renewed, my heart to be reconnected. I move into this new year with a sense of possibility, potentiality. I am open to my good. I am willing to be an expression of God's good for others, for myself, for my community, for my world. I am willing to shine the light that I am, that God is. My mind is open to divine ideas, intuitive wisdom, steps directed by the divine order of God. Wise choices, loving actions. This is a time for me to reveal my truth in ways greater than any before. I surrender all egoic thought. I release any idea that I am separate or outside of the power and the presence of the One. I am home. I remember. Use me, O God. I stand for you. Here I abide as you show me all that I must do. I rest in gratitude and in peace. All is well. Amen.
It is with a heart full of gratitude that we shift our attention to the space, to our present experience, having returned home to our awareness of spirit as the very truth of our being and of our lives. Isn't it such a blessing to return home on Sundays as we connect every week in this service, connecting with our spiritual community, that wherever you are in your travels, in whatever device that you can connect with us on, isn't it amazing that we can be together in so many wonderful ways in and through this time? We are so blessed to have this spiritual community that we call Unity of Houston. And so we give out of an awareness of the abundance that we receive through this ministry and through the presence of God in our lives. We have three aspects of being: mind, body, and spirit. And so we come home to nurture that spirit together. Do you feel nurtured this morning? And so we give out of that awareness. We can give through the website, through the app, through our text to give number on your screen. And let's give our offerings and an awareness of the new year, of the flow of abundance, and seeing that flowing in and through our spiritual community as it flows out into the world through the generosity of our gifts. Let us bless our gifts together with our offering prayer. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all the good I am and have, all the good I give and receive, and so it is. Amen.
I've walked among the shadows and I've seen the brighter day. I felt the pain of heartbreak and you wiped my tears away. And I prayed prayers to heaven from my lowest place. And I felt the blessings, God, you give and take away. No matter what I have, your grace is enough. No matter where I am, I'm standing in your love. From the mountain I will bow my life to the one who set me there. From the valley I will lift my eyes to the one who sees me there. When I'm standing on the mountain, I didn't get there on my own. When I'm walking through the valley, I know I'm not alone. You're God of the hills and valleys, God of the hills and valleys, and I am not alone. I've seen my dreams get broken. In you I hope again. No matter what, I know I'm safe inside your hands. From the mountain I will bow my life to the one who set me there. From the valley I will lift my eyes to the one who sees me there. When I'm standing on the mountain, I didn't get there on my own. When I'm walking through the valley, I know I am not alone. You're God of the hills and valleys, God of the hills and valleys, and I am not alone. Father, you give and take away every joy and every pain. Through it all, you will remain. Over it all, Father, you give and take away every joy and every pain. Through it all, you will remain. Over it all, from the mountain I will bow my life. From the valley I will lift my eyes. From the mountain I will bow my life to the one who set me there.
Kenneth Gale, you inspire me every time you open your mouth. You know, there are some, being a singer myself, you know, sometimes I do think, well, I could have done that. I never do that after Ken sings. It's like I bow down at the gift that God has given my amazing brother. And I want to thank to Ken and Jamaica and Siobhan and Selwyn and Alice, who took part in the Kwanzaa ceremony last week. I took a rare Sunday off where I wasn't traveling, and I got to just, like you are, I got to watch it from home, and it was just so beautiful. So thank you for the presence that you brought to that amazing ceremony. So enjoy all this. It's going away tomorrow. It is. We have gone through Christmas and New Year's and Kwanzaa and Hanukkah. We've been celebrating all of these festivals of light and the specialness of the season, and now it's back to it, back to life. How do we start a new year? You know, typically, and I think I kind of, you know, sort of spiritually growing up in religious science communities, at least we had a tradition at CSL Dallas of what we called back to the basics. We'd go to the first chapters of the Science of Mind textbook. And here at Unity, I've tried to do a similar tradition where often in January we go to the 5 basic principles of unity. Let's get back to the basics of our teaching. But as it's sort of evolved for us recently, it's really our fall program where we go to our basic teaching of co-creation using the divine mind within us. So it felt like we just did that. So I wanted to do something different this year for January. And I thought, what do we need now? What would be useful even though the year 2020 is over, we are still in this very strange time where here on a Sunday morning, there are just like 5 or 6 people, you know, staff and musicians and AV team that's here in our beautiful sanctuary where we normally would have hundreds of us gathered in spiritual community. It's so strange. So many things are different. And even though we're seeing ourselves moving through this pandemic experience, we're seeing ourselves on the other side. It is strange and it's different. And what I've been hearing from so many in our community is a sense of confusion, a sense of where's my purpose in this? What is the purpose of all this? Why is this happening? And so I was thinking, what would be useful for us now? We need a new lens. So today I'm beginning a 5-part series on the evolution of consciousness. That song, Hills and Valleys, is so powerful because most of us do not have a pure, uninterrupted climb into nirvana in our spiritual lives. There are some hills and some valleys, some detours, some backtracking, some swamped and stuck places. I mean, come on, you've been there. We've all had. The spiritual journey is a long and winding road, to quote the Beatles song. And we have sometimes need to be reminded that what we're currently going through is not a whole story. It's just a chapter, sometimes just a page of what we're doing. I remember a friend of mine in the 12-step recovery group where I did so much work. She would say, you know, if there are people out in the world who still think who Christy is that drunk woman on the boat they saw those years ago. And that's just a slice of my life. And she said, I try to bring that same awareness when I see people kind of acting in strange ways. I'm just seeing a tiny slice of the journey. And it's a beautiful way to remember for ourselves and for others. So the spine of this series, what I'm hoping to hook everything to, is something called spiral dynamics theory. And it is a lens. It's a way of seeing the evolution of consciousness in humanity, both on the individual and the collective level. It is a rich and complex theory, and I'm going to give you, we're going to scratch the surface today. We're going to look at it from 30,000 feet. And if you're intrigued, we have a wonderful opportunity given to us by our own Cindy Wigglesworth. We do have a resident expert in this field in our community who serves in this community as our co-director of the Healing the Heart of America project, as well as serving on our board of directors. But she is known around the world in the integral field as being an expert in this. She has gifted to us for free on her company's website, deepchange.com, a class that she created on conscious evolution. It was filmed right here in our sanctuary some time back, and the link to the 100% off coupon, you can't get better coupon than that, will be in the comments section on Facebook, and it'll also be at unityhouston.org on the Sunday services page. You go there and you can, if you're interested, if you're intrigued by this theory and you want to go deeper, thank you, Cindy, for offering that to us. So next week, today we're calling it Moving Up the Spiral. I'm going to give you an overview of spiral dynamics. Next week, we're going to be talking about from me to we, that as we grow in consciousness, we are still focused on our own part. We want to keep our side of the street clean as we evolve and grow, but we become more aware that we are here to serve the whole. In January 17th, I'm going to talk about never waste a good crisis. That even when things look like they're a mess, that mess will become our message if we bring our spiritual principles to it. Something new will be taught and revealed. January 24th, I'm talking about what comes next. You know, we can't foretell the future, but we can see the pattern. We can feel the future as it's being revealed in us in the present. And then January 31st, how can I help? Talking about that each of us has a part to play in the evolution of humanity. So why are we doing this now? Because of the times we're in, our confusion and our despair. That what I hope to bring with this series are three things. I hope to comfort you. I hope to tell you that it really is going to be okay, and indeed, even now, it is okay. I hope to inspire you, to give you a picture that this is not the falling apart and the end of all things. This is the falling together and the beginning of something new that's happening in human consciousness. And lastly, I hope to challenge you to do your own work, your own growth, your own healing, your own becoming, because that's how humanity grows and heals and becomes. Cindy and I have been having a lot of conversations about this series, as well as my friend Reverend Chris Terry. You know, she was the one who really introduced me to this work, Spiral Dynamics, shortly after the year 2000, when we first became friends. And I would get, you know, there's Cliff Notes where people, you know, those sort of condensed books. I would have Chris Notes. She would go in and do all the deep research, all the reading, and then she would just tell me what I needed to know. And so that's how I really first came to understand spiral dynamics. So I was talking to her about how do I even begin to teach spiral dynamics theory in a Sunday talk series. And this is what she wrote. It comes to mind to talk early about how we're all living our own story inside of a larger story. So in other words, help people understand in a relatable or elegant way that what is happening with them personally is happening within a movement that is larger than them. So that's what I hope to remind us, that the things we're struggling with, the things that we're growing through and healing, it's not just for you. It's for us all. As one of us heals our own consciousness, we lift the all. As the tide rises, it lifts all boats. There's a story, this also came from Chris. I've used it before, but I like the way that it was worded in her email. A young couple moves into a new neighborhood. The next morning, they were eating breakfast, and the young woman sees that her neighbor is outside hanging the wash. That laundry is not very clean. She doesn't know how to wash correctly. Perhaps she needs better laundry soap. Her husband looks on, remaining silent. Every time her neighbor hangs the wash to dry, the young woman makes the same comments. A month later, the woman is surprised to see nice, clean wash on the line, and she says to her husband, "Look, she's finally learned how to wash correctly. I wonder who taught her this." Her husband replies, "I got up early this morning and cleaned our windows." And so it is with life. What we see when watching others depends upon the clarity of the window through which we look. When we clean up our own consciousness, then we're better able to see the movement of spirit in everything that we're experiencing collectively. Evolution is written into the very fabric of reality. You know, there are different churches that sort of appeal to different kinds of people who value things differently. There are churches that appeal to those who want people just to act right. And so there are a lot of rules and morals around the way things are supposed to be, and that absolutely serves. And we're going to learn in the spiral why those things are important too. Every level of the spiral of becoming matters and has value and is important. But Unity is not one of those churches. We are not one of those spiritual communities that focuses a lot on purity of behavior, what we eat and what we do. No, we're not about that. We're really focused on personal growth and development, healing of our own consciousness, remembering the truth of who we are, and then demonstrating that into our lives using these spiritual tools and principles. So we are an evolutionary church. And so those who are drawn to this community, those who are drawn to join our Sunday and our Wednesday services online, you tend to be here because you want to grow, because you want to heal and you want to be better. You want your life to feel better inwardly and be better outwardly. So I'm hoping that this will ignite your desire for growth, your thirst and hunger. The master teacher, Jesus, in that beautiful Sermon on the Mount, Matthew 5, verse 6, says, "Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled." That your desire for your own growth, for your own becoming, guarantees that it will be met because we have aligned ourselves with the very energies of life itself. One last scripture verse, and then we're going to launch into the theory. This is from 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 17 and 18. "Now the Lord is the Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. And we all, who with unveiled faces contemplate the Lord's glory, are being transformed into that image, His image, with ever-increasing glory, which comes from the Lord, who is the Spirit." In the King James, it says, "Glory unto glory." That we are forever reminding ourselves who we are. As we contemplate spiritual things, we are revealed as spirit. And no one is finished. The spiral never ends. We're all doing this work of becoming who we already are. Spiral dynamics theory was created. I think we have a slide for this. It was created by, actually before that, I have another slide. Thank you, Laddie, if you want to bring that up. Hildegard of Bingen. She was a medieval mystic, Catholic abbess in Germany, and she said this, that we are to live on the green and growing edge of our becoming. That is the place where we discover God in each new moment, each new phase of our lives. That's what this work is really about, created by Don Beck and Chris Cohen, and based upon the work of Claire Graves. This is a theory, a model that seeks to map the universal stages of development. It has been upgraded for the integral age. All these slides that you're going to be seeing today on the PowerPoint were created by our own Cindy Wigglesworth. And so thank you, Cindy, for letting us use these beautiful slides. So I'm just going to start launching into them. Here are the stages in first tier. Starting at the bottom, this is called the beige level. It's called survival consciousness. It has been present. Let's go back to that. Keep that other slide up there first for a minute, Laddie. Yeah, right there. 200,000 years it has been here. Next up from that is tribal magical thinking, purple. It has been on the planet in humanity for, in a measured way that we can document for about 50,000 years. The next that arose was red, the red level, the red meme of spiral dynamics, power, empire. About 10,000 years we've seen it on our planet. What came out of that was the next level up, which is blue, purpose, order, rules. The blue level of spiral dynamics has been on planet Earth in humanity for about 4,500 years. What arose next was the orange level of consciousness, which is about industrialization. It's about striving for better. It's been on the planet for about 500 years. We can sort of map it to the beginnings of the Industrial Revolution, the beginnings of the dawn of science, modern science. And the last of these levels to be revealed on the planet was called the green level, pluralism, eco-sensitivity. It's just been about 150 years, and it has to do with an awareness of others and the planet. So now we'll go through these one at a time, just kind of quickly. I'm telling you, this is a 30,000-foot view, so we're not going to get to all of it. If you're interested, please take advantage of this opportunity to take the class that Cindy is gifting to us now. But the issue at the beige level is survival. The color beige is because it's about the dry savanna. The next one, the purple, is about honoring the spirits to create safety. It's about the group that is formed is larger. In the survival area, it's really just about the family, the procreative group. And now we move into sort of a clan, tribal time with our purple stage of development. And this was the time of the shaman, the priestess, the holy man and woman, where we began to draw connections. The next level that emerged is the red. This is about red for bloodshed, a little gory, I know. But this is about power, where individuals retook the power from the holy man, the shaman, and they began to, might makes right, and they formed warring tribes and clans, warlords, and they could overtake and conquer. It was a time of great power. What emerged from that naturally after thousands of years, these stages take thousands of years to develop, but you'll see as we go into them more and more quickly. It moves more quickly. What came next is this idea of blue order. We need laws. We need some structure that is not just about the strong man or woman taking over and conquering others. And so law, the beginnings of justice. What also emerged here in the blue level is a strong sense of belief, like I'm a part of this nation, I'm a part of this church, this religion, and I'm right because I have the written law, I have the book, the holy book, I have whatever that is, that even though it's now a larger we, it's still exclusive of those who do not believe as we do and act according to our laws. What came next is orange, what we call the strive drive, molten steel, industrialization, and science. What do I want to tell you about what this one is? It's to make progress, to act from reason and logic to create a better life. One thing that happens in the spiral is it goes back and forth between a focus on the collective to a focus on the individual. The orange is a return of focus on the individual. Think of the great minds who made great discoveries that helped us move forward. Where the religious beliefs may or may not be true. How does it match up to what we're actually observing in the realm of nature? And from this came the Industrial Revolution. Another thing that's important to know about this theory is that each of these new levels, these memes, these value systems, they arise because of a need at the time on the planet, a problem or a set of problems that are here. This new step forward in evolution provides answers, solutions, which then create new problems, which is the engine of evolution. The orange level was such an incredible leap forward in many ways, and yet it created all kinds of new problems. If we think about the Industrial Revolution, it actually finally gave us the power to be done with slavery, at least as an institutional sanctioned model of being. We didn't need it anymore because we could have power of steam and of combustion engines, and so it moved us forward. But what does all of that do to our ecosystems, our environment? It created new problems. And so about 150 years ago, people began to be aware of this need for a new set of solutions, a new set of values, and the green movement emerged. And green is about trees, nature, ecosensitivity. Its issue is to address social injustice and care for the planet. And it's about 150 years that it's been here. A couple things I do want to tell you about these stages of development. This is, again, very high level. All stages of development are important and valuable, and they solve problems specific to their stage. Later stages are different from earlier stages, and they solve different problems. The later stages transcend and include. This is important. All of the learning and the growth that happened at earlier stages, we take the best and leave the rest, is the ideal way we can think about that. But we don't get rid of them. We haven't gone past them. They are still within us. All systems, all people, individuals contain all the colors of the spiral within them. And also, as consciousness of humanity in itself has grown through each of these stages, so we, from infancy, grow at survival in beige, and through childhood and adolescence. We ourselves move through these stages of conscious evolving and becoming. Later stages transcend and include, and it means that we can flexibly use and compassionately work with all levels. So really, scratching the surface here. I do want to point us to what comes next. These bottom 6 levels are what are considered Tier 1. And one thing about this is that in Tier 1, each level kind of thinks that they've got the right way of seeing it. There's not a lot of understanding or appreciation of other levels or value systems. But what happens at this leap to Tier 2 with the yellow level that emerges is the ability to understand and communicate and see the value of all the previous stages. It takes us until Tier 2 before we can really do that. And you can see that that is not fully established in any of our governmental systems. It's not fully established in religion. I do think that unity and new thought are yellow in our consciousness because we do see the value of all people. Here are some things about yellow. Intuitively grasp the entire spiral and thus understands that each meme is important. It grasps big pictures, global flows, universal networks, discovers personal freedom without harm to others or excesses of self-interest. That one is huge for me. That second-tier thinking will retain all the good of personal freedom of expression, but not in a way that harms others or the system. It will reintroduce vertical hierarchy or ranking along with a horizontal heterarchy, which is about linking. So it's in the green level, hierarchies are not to be trusted and must be torn down. They reemerge in level 2, in Tier 2, but also the linking, the horizontal. Works for both the enjoyment of the self and the good of the entire spiral of development. Another thing to tell you about these levels of development or evolution, that each one has a healthy expression and an unhealthy expression. There is functionality, there is dysfunctionality at all levels. And so you may think that it's the red or the orange are bad. No, there is a healthy expression at each of these previous levels. All right, I hope you're intrigued with theory. I'm not going to spend any more time in a Sunday message which is meant to be inspiring and comforting and challenging, but with theory. Study it on your own. We'll keep coming back to it. I want to come to a little story. I don't know if anyone has seen the new Disney Pixar movie, Soul. Profoundly moving to me. Talks about the soul's becoming. So what I have done today is I have prepared a story, a hero's journey of our family history, the history of humanity. And soul is an interesting word because it's very squishy theologically. It's hard to say exactly what it is. People mean so many different things. It's not a very good word for theoretics either, but for storytelling. Our soul knows. And also, we not only have the individual souls, but there are collective souls. There is a soul of Unity of Houston for 101 years, revealing itself through our growth and becoming. And this is the story of the awakening of the human soul. Before the soul of our people awakened, life here flourished. The Spirit of God's becoming was apparent everywhere, flowering, birthing, hunting, protecting. In millions of species, in billions of individual organisms, this impulse for evolution burned brightly. But consciousness was thin. No awareness of self or others, only the beautiful and powerful drives of instinct, of survival, of procreation. Our kind began to distinguish themselves from others by our intelligence and our adaptability. Still instinctual, without self-awareness, then the human soul quickened in our ancestors. A light began to grow in them, a dusty, dim light, the color of sand, of dried grasses on the prairie. But this was the beginning of our conscious evolution. The soul spoke to our great-grandmothers and to our great-grandfathers with a single word, insistent and powerful. It said, live, live. And for tens of thousands of years, for millennia, this driving force for survival, which before had only been instinct, became conscious. Awareness of self and other, and small family groups. Remember where the berries grow. Feed the younglings. Care for the sick if possible, if that will help us survive another winter. From our perspective, it was a brutal and cruel existence, but this was the beginning, and beginnings are powerful. After centuries, our ancestors grew in awareness and skill, and many were not only surviving, but thriving. The human soul stirred again. A new light began to glow in the brightest and the quickest of our people. They began to see connections in the world. When the sky boomed in thunder in a late summer afternoon, the storm would be fierce. Find cover. It was just like the angry, strong hunter when he became enraged. Duck, hide. Maybe there was an angry hunter in the sky. These bright ones had a light of the soul that was clear and deep, purple, magic. They created language and story that helped the rest of us feel safe in a dangerous world. The shaman, the priestess, the medicine woman, our intelligence was growing and building deeper generation upon generation. We now had culture, rudimentary religion. Power began to coalesce, and after many, many seasons of this purple time, the soul stirred again. Now, some of our ancestors began to question the magical powers of the spirits and the gods, and they found their own power and used it. They commanded others to their will. They looked to the neighboring tribes and the clans with good hunting lands, and a new message came from the human soul: more. They attacked, they conquered, they enslaved. Warlords, warrior kings, and warrior queens, raw power pulsed with an energy and a light red. For a long, long time in our family history, this raw power was everything. But as the lust and need for power grew, so grew our intelligence. Wisdom began to reveal itself in new ways. We needed power, yes, but more than just the strength of the man or the spear. The sheer brutality didn't feel right to the soul now. We needed a rule, a law, a code. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Justice emerged. Some kingdoms flourished under this new blue light of the soul. They formed armies. They overthrew the heathen warlords. Heathen? Heretic? Infidel? Yes, these words were needed now, for the rules and laws were attributed to the higher power than the kings, God-given. The power of belief surged. Nations formed, then later empires. Conquering, claiming all for God and country. Get in line. Follow the laws or be trampled. But the human soul continued its upward path, turning and turning through the seasons, through the rise and fall of the great kingdoms. In some of the wisest and brightest, a new light began to emerge, orange flame of curiosity and understanding. Looking farther out to the planets and stars, looking closer in to the hidden life in a drop of pond water. New lenses were needed for this expanded vision. And they were created through trial and error and improvement. New miracles discovered, not from the voices of the prophets or the oracles, but in the complexity and the beauty that already existed around us. Natural philosophers, science emerged, new paths of power discovered and harnessed, steam, machines, innovation, and industry. We began to use the storehouses of energy in our earth to create cities and systems in our own image to fit our own needs. The individual mind took precedence. Genius, visionary souls reshaped how we saw ourselves, and the people thrived. Well, some more than others. You see, the human soul is never finished in its becoming, and with every advancement come new problems, with every level, new awareness. And not that long ago in our family history, some began to see great inequities. While the institution of slavery was long gone, oppression still existed for far too many. The orange machinery created much and also destroyed much. Ecosystems began to die. Indigenous peoples who still lived in harmony and proximity with nature began to be removed from their land by orange expansion. They withered under what was meant to be enlightenment. Some of us saw it now. The soul moved within them. A new quickening of awareness, and the soul glowed green like springtime. We must care more for all people, for the souls of the earth, passionate voices of inclusion. These green-lit souls flared brilliantly against the oppressive blue religions that excluded, against the orange accumulation of wealth at the expense of others. The hierarchy must be brought down. Striking peace, seeking peace and equality, many gains were made for minorities and are still being achieved. But the divisions rise, excluding those who exclude. The green soul shows us need for change, but the way is not easy or clear. More is needed from our human soul. So now we are here, in a time of unbelievable wonders of technology and achievement, with problems that are so huge we're just beginning to grasp them. We are bewildered by the differences in the ways different factions see everything. Solutions elude us. But the soul is stirring again. What is needed this time is not a subtle shift, but a leap. A movement in consciousness unlike any previous. A new dawn, yellow light of a new sun, quick, solution-centered, active and aware, innovative, understanding and honoring all previous lights and colors of human family. Fluent in all the soul's languages, seeing connections between systems and problems that were never seen before. The problems seem insolvable, but the potential, it's already here, waiting for our recognition, for our willingness. The soul whispers to us, are we listening? What message is coming now to you and to me? God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you for that inspiring vision and message, Reverend Michael. Here's to the refinement of that vision. Here and now I'm in the fire in above my head, being held under the pressure, don't know what'll be left, but it's here the pressure is on, he's making diamonds. Oh, the joy of the Lord, it will be my strength. When the pressure is on, he's making diamonds. Oh, the joy of the Lord, it will be my strength. When the pressure is on, he's making diamonds, diamonds, making us rise from the dust. He is refining his diamonds, he's making diamonds out of dust. He's making diamonds out of us. I won't be afraid to shine. I won't be afraid to shine. I won't be afraid to shine, 'cause he's making diamonds out of dust. God's making diamonds out of us.
Please join us for Wednesday night Satsang as we resume this week on Wednesday night with a new series on Jack Cornfield's A Path with Heart. And I will be beginning the series with my message, The Journey of the Heart, at 7 p.m. Central, right where you are now. Hope to see you on Wednesday. The Board of Directors is accepting applications for this year's board, so you can apply right on our homepage on our website. The application is available. Thank you, and Happy New Year.
Let's now close our service using our peace song as we do. Remember that vision is within us. Let peace begin with me.
Peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. When God has created earth, family all are we. Let me walk with my family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Join us in speaking the words of our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And today we proclaim that God is good all the time.
It's a beautiful day.
It's a beautiful day.